Good morning, Simpson Elementary. Today I am going to do a painting. Now I know there's many of you that do not have paints, brushes, and those types of tools that you need to do a painting. So you can always use crayon, marker, colored pencil. But for those of you that do have some paints at home, I want to do an art project with you. Okay, now what you're going to need is blue, white, and black. Pretty simple. All three of those colors is what you're going to need. You will probably need a couple of different brushes, maybe, that are somewhat big, and then some little brushes for details. Okay, so pause the video and go get your supplies if you have them. You will need a piece of paper, and I put this 9 by 12 paper on this like 11 or 17 by 18 piece, and I'll put a white piece on there. Okay, and this is what we're going to use. If you have canvas, this is not very big, you can use this. Okay, and we're going to turn it this way. We're not going to turn it this way, we're going to turn it this way today. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the background's going to look like before we even get started. All right, notice that. Two colors. You have a white half circle, and then the rest of it is going to be blue. All right, and that's what's going to take you a few minutes to accomplish. And then inside of that water, this is water by the way, with the light shining in it, we're going to put a shark. Yes, that's a shark, by the way. Okay. If you don't know how to create a shark, you can look at a picture, or you can trace this. Remember, just pause the video. Get your materials. You can put your paper up to this and trace it, and then you'll have your shark. Okay, first thing we're going to start out with is our big brush. Okay, and we are going to use blue, and we're basically going to create a half circle. You see the white in the middle, that's half circle, and we're going to paint the rest of the paper. To corners, and just brush it toward center, like this. Very simple. Just sweeping back and forth, back and forth. And if you go off the edge, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. All right. Doing the underwater. There we go, back and forth. And if you don't go all the way to the bottom, that's okay. But what I like to do is fill out my painting, go all the way the edges of the paper and to the corners. Remember to put something under your painting. Newspaper would be fine. something, especially if you're sitting at the kitchen table. Someone at home probably doesn't want you to get paint on the table. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's my blue. Now I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to add white. But Mr. B, it's already white. Well, that's true. So adding white on white is interesting to say the least, but you're going to need it. Because we know that water is not completely white. It's clear, but look what's going to happen. Oh, looky, looky. Look what's happening there on the edge. Oh, goodness. Blending the color, yes. We want it to look lighter. Okay, because our shark is where? It's down in the water. And this is the light that's shining down in the water to make it look like the shark is looking up. Okay, now we're getting there. And you can just keep working with this. If you want to make this a little darker right here, just take your little blue, pull it in. Okay. Remember, at the very top, it's going to be probably the brightest. Okay, there we go. There we go. See that? Pretty simple. Okay. Now, once you get your shark cut out, and that shark is going to go right here in the middle. He's going to be under the water. You could turn him any way you want. If you want him to look up, that's fine. If you want him to look down, I like to put him right in the center. Okay, now I'm going to show you this to save time. Around the mouth, okay, is white. On the belly of the shark is white. And then there's a little bit of blue around that white. Not too heavy. It's got a little mix of white and blue. And then, of course, I put a little bit of white at the top to make it look like there's some reflection of the light off the top of his body. Okay, and then there's his eye and his nostril. And then I need some gills. I need about 5 gills right there. But to save time, I'm going to just paste him on my background. Just like this. And that's where he'll go. Okay. Now, if you want to paint him, what I would do is I would suggest that you trace around his body. And you can do it with paint. That's all you have to do. You can do it with a pencil. Even a pen. I have a pen right here, and let me see if I can do that. My paper is still kind of wet. Yeah, that pen is working. Because remember, you're going to paint over that pen outline. It's not going to matter. You can do it with a pencil. Like that. Okay, let me bring this closer to you. I hope you can see that. Yeah, you can barely see that. And so now you got the outline, and and if you want to paint it, then all you have to do is take some of your smaller brushes like this. All right, I'm gonna start on that just to give you an idea what it's gonna look like. Okay. I'm just gonna paint along the top here. There's the top of him. I'm going to put some down here in his fin. I'm going to put some more over here in his fin so we can definitely see that fin sticking out. Okay. And then the rest of it is probably going to be white, right? That's starting to look pretty good, isn't it? So that's really starting to look pretty good. Yeah, and then of course you have the mouth, so you want to stay south of the mouth there. And if it ends up being a little grayish color, that's fine. Remember to pause the video. And he's going to have some blue in him. That's looking pretty good, just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to stick an eye up here. And a little nostril. Oh, not too bad, huh? A little white in his tail there. Pull that white in with the black fin, make it kind of a gray look. Put some back here. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. And of course, when this black dries, I'm going to come back in and put a little white at the top. So, hope you enjoy.